What is up, people? Welcome to Last Call Reacts, where I drop a video once a week on something newsworthy, something we covered, something that's in the news, something that's on YouTube. Welcome. This week, I kind of want to do something a little bit different. Welcome to the Last Call channel. Just to let you know, we do a couple things on here. Once a week, I drop a video of something going on in the news. As I said, it's called Last Call Reacts. This is kind of that, although I switched it up, and I'll let you know how I switched it up and what you can look forward to. On top of that, once a week, I try to do a live, normally on Fridays at 9 p.m. So come along and join me. We do different things. But what I'm using Last Call Reacts to do this week is highlight a live that I did last week. Now, if you saw the title coming in, you would see the Exonerated Five. And by the Exonerated Five, you know them as previously as the Central Park Five. Now, what I did in my live, I was actually able, through the will of YouTube, PBS, all the movers, shakers, knocking on wood here because the video is still up. And I thought I'd use this time to try to encourage people to go check out the live, not just because you're going to see a fantastic live over there, but because you get to see the whole documentary that I'm speaking about right now. I want people to go back and check out the last live that I did, which would have been on Friday. And that live is called No Can Do. It is the Last Call podcast number 38. And I took the time to do something that I wanted to do for a little bit, which was speak about the Central Park Five case. Now, again, I think very important that we know them and refer to them as the Exonerated Five. Now we know that Netflix did a docu-series, like a movie, not even a docu-series, docudrama, I should say. And they did a pretty good job with that. But I knew about this case for a while because I was in New York, back and forth for a while at that time, had family over there, and I lived there for a little bit too. Talking about in 1989. I knew about it, but obviously didn't remember it. There's so many things that go on in the news. But also in 2012, a documentary came about. And I believe that this documentary was so noteworthy. I shared it with people I worked with, people in my life, because although it's not particularly unique in the justice system to have innocent people locked up, we get an interesting insight of these people. So I just want to read a couple things to you so you know that here. And again, I'm talking about the Central Park Five film, the documentary. And I'm just going to read you a little bit of what it says here in the background. The Central Park Five is a 2012 documentary film about the Central Park jogger case, directed by documentary filmmaker Ken Burns, his daughter Sarah Burns, and her husband David McMahon. It covers the arrest, interrogations, trials, convictions, the vacating the convictions of the five men who were teenagers in the 1989 case. All right. Just the fact that this documentary, and again, if you saw the drama, that's great. But like most things, this was made into a book. Sarah Burns had published two books about the case: the Central Park Five case, a chronicle of the city Wilding, and the Central Park Five, the untold story behind one of New York City's most infamous crimes. Right now, if you know Ken Burns, he's put. If you knew about PBS, which you already have growing up and stuff, he put PBS back on the map in a great way with his documentaries, right? Just go back and see his catalog of the things that he came up with. Winner of Peabody Awards, also credited for revolutionizing the way that documentaries were done. His daughter, Sarah Burns, happens to be working as an intern in the office of, I'm just sort of going off the top over here, But I know this very well because I looked into it. I was so interested in this case, but necessarily the way that the things came together. She was working as an intern and went over the case, the papers, the files, and started to become outraged. She brought these documents to her father, Ken Burns. They would go over it. Her father, Ken Burns, said to write about it. Eventually, they collaborated on the writing and then produced this documentary called The Central Park Five. Um, Again, you've seen documentaries, even if you've seen the docudrama. This is very different because this is the five men telling their story all the way through from the night of the arrest as boys, detailing for the most part 7 years, Corey Wise 13 years of their jail sentence, them going through the case, what the climate of the city was, all the things against them, things that they had to overcome inside and outside of prison, acclimating themselves back into society. And we know that things like this have happened before to innocent people, more disproportionately to Black people, but white people have been victims of this also. But again, disproportionately young Black men who are able to be locked up. So the amount of traction that this got, the highlight. And you could bet, coming from the Burns point of view, the people who documented this, you better believe that it's done in such a thorough way that it's a name that you could be trusted. Because if you go back and look at any Ken Burns documentary, you feel like you capture all sides of the story being told, right? So I wanted to use this time to recommend, and I'll put the link down there for you if you don't want to search the site, of checking out my podcast on Friday, number 38, because we've also had some good insight. We've had some people step in. We even had our resident uh, uh, legal expert step in once in a while, Stephanie Collins, and some others tap in just to give their opinion or, just to make a comment or two while the documentary is going on. But while this is still up and allowed to be up, what do they say? Free Use Act. Please, YouTube, keep it up. They've been very generous. I was very happy that they allowed the whole thing to be played without being cut off. I'm very pleased that it's allowed to still remain up. All right. But just the story. Of course, they're human beings, but it more humanizes it if you're outside of the realm or you haven't had these experiences or you wonder how innocent people may end up in jail if they truly haven't done anything. But it shows you the machine behind this sort of tragedy that incarcerates innocent people and keeps innocent people incarcerated. And you think, great, all is well. They got exonerated. It's not really a spoiler alert. Somebody came in and confessed to the crimes. Everybody's good. Everybody's living well, but they still face their troubles outside of their prison time. One of them had to go back because he couldn't adjust. One of them stayed longer, right there, Corey Wise, than everybody else because he was a few months older than the other four boys at the time. And it's above all, it is just a really great story. It's tragic. At the same time, it's heartwarming. A couple of the comments that were made throughout is the support system, how strong some of the families were, how cowardly other members of the family were as well, and who sticks with you in these turbulent times and how you get through these turbulent times, who you turn to, how it works out. It's just a great, great look. So do yourself a favor while you're doing me a favor. Go check out number 38 of my podcast and prepare to see a good documentary of the Exonerated Five. Thank you for everybody who put this up, who liked, shared, subscribed. Tiz for putting that out. Appreciate that on your social media also. But, take the time out, because I believe now you probably even have to pay to rent it and whatnot. If your first time here at Last Call, definitely appreciate you visiting. But even beyond that, I'd appreciate you if you liked, if you shared, especially subscribe. Help me get this channel growing. Come back, join us. Join us for the live podcast where maybe we'll make it a little lighter this week as we discuss things and we have our regulars jump back here too. Hey, that's all I got for you this time. Even though a lot of things are going on in the news that we're going to talk about. Trust me, we won't be short of any topics to talk about when we come through on Friday too. So join us, take your time, watch that video, enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.